Hi, I'm the Bullday, and I just recently was invited to one of the largest civilization events in Minecraft history, with over 2,000 players by the YouTuber Skipolo. Known throughout the community for his previous events with Soul Nations, I was invited back for this one after having previously participated in his other two. The goal of this event was to attempt to simulate a realistic economy inside the game of Minecraft, using various data packs programmed by the event staff. I had a lot of fun in this event, and I thank Skip and his team greatly for inviting me back after all this time. So watch enthusiastically as the tale of the beginning of our journey unfolds. Day 0, August 20th. The day I luckily found out that my application into the 2,000 player Minecraft event was accepted and I would be participating. Unluckily for me, however, I was 4 days late to discover this. My application had actually been processed on the 16th instead. Upon finding this out, I began to panic as the event was set to start in just 2 days. I didn't yet have a plan, but what I did have was determination. You see, if you've been following this channel for a while, you may realize it has been a long time since I've actually played Minecraft extensively, meaning I was quite rusty on all the infinite mechanics that make this game a masterpiece. Even more unfortunately, the game was using a data pack that would mean that most of my standard survival and PvP skills from prior learning quite useless. You see, in this version of the game, the PvP system had some slight reworks involving changes like
removing critical hits, axes no longer breaking shields, and iframes being significantly reduced.
To make matters worse, for whatever reason, food just kinda sucks, only giving 20-ish% of its natural regeneration. There were plenty more changes too, but I'll get back to those in a bit. If I wanted to survive at all past the first 5 minutes in this event, I would have to group up and try to remain peaceful whenever possible. After pursuing through the list of factions that were available, I didn't have time to create my own, I landed on a group known as Imperium, inspired by the Holy Roman Empire, and combined with the powerful factions Ventari, who I knew little about besides them being peaceful and disliking pre-teamers, and the Papacy, looking to spread the good word to everyone who would listen. I immediately flattered them with my prior experiences and impressive resume, and gained a role as a leading builder aiding in the construction of their future base. This video isn't about the politics of the server, however, not yet at least, and so for now they will have to wait. All that was left to do was an extensive training session on Hypixel, regaining what building and PvP knowledge I once had back in my prime. The event was set to go public tomorrow at 2 PM, and I was feeling ready. After training till my ass was sore, I decided to go to sleep and wake up the next day on Day 1, sorta, August 22, 2025. I woke up bright and early today, and instead of my usual doom scrolling, I decided to hit the gym. By the gym, I mean the Minecraft server Hypixel. I played Minecraft. I continued training, fighting who I could, and building impressive statues until the time finally came for the server to begin. At 1 PM, 1 hour before. Or so I thought. You see, the event officially began at 1:30 in a Discord stage meant to help prepare people for the event beforehand and build some hype surrounding it. And well, I'm just gonna let the recording speak for itself. Some guy also tried promoting his faction, the ACM Empire, and everyone clowned on him for it. I don't know, I just thought that was funny. Anyways. Apparently, however, Skip had some last-minute play testing to do for the server, meaning we had to wait and watch the staff members try and stall and distract from the issue at hand for about another hour and a half. But when the time came and the server finally opened, we still had to wait even more. First, we had to go through a 2v2T style queue just to spawn in. Then we had to wait another 30 or so minutes for enough people to join that the staff would even let us move around at all. This whole time I was planning, however. Firstly, of course, I was planning where to meet up with my faction, as were they, but I was also planning for myself. What, you may ask? Well, this video that you're watching, that's what. I also figured recording everything else in case a player decided to RDM me would be good, so that I could, have some proof. The event began very strangely, when it did eventually come to pass as well. Do you remember those other mechanics I was talking about earlier? Well, safe to say they only really seem to exist to make the game that much harder.
For starters, you cannot punch wood in this version. Instead, you are given 10 boulders, which you can use to craft an item that lets you get exactly 1 piece of wood. How do you craft this item, you may ask? Well, first you will need to gather 2 handles, crafted from 2 sticks each, so 4 sticks in total. How do you get these sticks, I may ask? Well, luckily, boulders can be used to give you 2 sticks, from right-clicking a tree, so not that difficult, but the crafting recipe also calls for flint. Oh, but how do you get flint without a pickaxe? Well, luckily, the boulders can also be used to mine stone, which gives you a tiny chance of granting flint upon them being mined. Remember, this is all just to get 1 item to get 1 piece of wood. The boulders also delete themselves after mining 1 piece of stone or gathering 2 sticks, so you have to replenish them by turning the extra cobblestone you would get from mining those stones into more boulders. And what happens when you've gathered enough wood to make a crafting table? Well, sorry buddy, but they don't exist in this version. Instead, you have to get a workbench that is kind of like a crafting table, but much worse. To craft this bench, you need 4 strip logs, but oh no! 1 hatchet, that's what the item's called, can only either strip a log or cut it down. And you're going to need at least 8 hatches. That's 8 pieces of flint and 32 sticks to make 1 of these. Then you will need to gather the additional numbers of stick and flint to craft what are basically just regular wood tools. This is skyblock levels of grinding. Oh, and the best part? After all of that, if you did it too quickly, you still won't be able to make any tools without being been on the server for enough time for the game to randomly decide you have leveled up and give you points you can pump then into crafting to make anything at all.
So that was basically what day 1 looked like until halfway through the session when, oh no, it crashed, as everyone expected it would. So we had to start all over again on a new server that was not quite as laggy, and where we were actually given some food at the start instead of just having to starve and pray. This time I found some gravel and dead bushes, so the whole process was fairly quick, but either way the beginning still kinda sucked, as it was not what you would expect for an event like this. Thankfully though, the staff agreed to start again the next day, with some better changes in mind, so hopefully everything will go smoothly on. Day 1 officially. August 24th, 2025. Today was the official start date for the event. I didn't get any footage for this one, unfortunately, so you're kinda gonna just have to trust me. Fortunately, due to real life circumstances, I was only able to play for about 30 minutes. However, in those 30 minutes, I got quite a lot done. First, I assembled some wooden tools out of wood, obviously, and used them to make a makeshift farm, just a few inches away from a very powerful player, Procrastination's farm. Hope he didn't mind me leeching. I then went and assembled some stone tools, found an almost depleted iron deposit, from which I took but 4 ingots when no one was looking, and used them to craft myself a makeshift shield and pickaxe. I then harvested some of the wheat crop from my farm I just constructed, and dug a hole right next to it to hide in. I traded with a nearby player my stone tools in exchange for a single piece of coal, which I used to create a torch that I put into my hole so mobs wouldn't spawn, officially making it a home. I killed a few sheep to make a bed, and finally logged off inside my secure hole. All in all, not much happened, according to what I've heard from other players, and I wish I could have played longer so that I could have made it to the official base of Imperium at least, situated in a jungle biome next to a single iron deposit. The incident. Everything wrong today. I woke up to a horrifying notification. I had lost my Duolingo streak of almost 700 days, please pray for me. But then, I got another horrifying notification at around 2 p.m. The Council of Imperium was going to be holding a stage to address a conflict with another nation. The nation in question was Phalanx. I had known very little about them prior to this notification. To my knowledge, they were just another nation in a sea of them. What had apparently gone down, when I was away however, was that they had seemingly raided an iron deposit, which we had rightfully claimed from here on out, built their houses on our territory, and were unwilling to move. Apparently, our nation's leaders had been having many problems with them since another nation known as Ventari, which I mentioned previously, had chosen to join with us instead of them. This was absolutely terrible if I wished to further my ultimate goal of surviving this event, becoming filthy rich while doing so. We needed a solution fast, and everyone was quick to chime in with ideas. I myself proposed a trade agreement in exchange for us allowing them to continue living on our territory and splitting the resources from the iron deposit. Other people suggested things like a merge, one person suggested a war immediately, and our leaders remained adamant about them moving away of their own volition. It wasn't until one member of the largest nation on the server, Atlantis, heard about the argument, proposed that Phalanx could stay on their territory instead, that people finally seemed to ease up a bit. At this point, this has become server-wide news. First major conflict only one day into the server's lifespan, and depending on how we handle the situation, it could lead us to having targets painted on our backs for the rest of the server's indefinite lifespan. The leader of Phalanx, too, chimed in with his perspective, and to his credit, it seemed that he only really wanted what was best for his nation. After sitting in the stage with almost 100 people and briefly interacting with my nomadic goat kill card, the leaders had to go, leaving everyone kind of up in the air and tense. Although some good news was that it seemed like peace was now far less far away, what the hell? Whatever, than it was when this whole conundrum started. Hopefully this can come to a simple resolution. August 28th, 2025. Today we received the greatest news possible. A discussion had taken place, and the leaders of all major nations had landed on a plan. The offer from Atlantis went through, and it was decided that Phalanx would join them in arms. In exchange, they asked only that we supply them with a few stacks of bread for the journey, and in return the Iron Node was completely our own. My hat goes off to the fabulous leaders that led to this era of unprecedented peace, to the end of this short debacle that will never really be known by the people who only end up watching the videos made by staff. It's funny, really. All of this behind-the-scenes work is simply stepped away when you only focus on major story beats laid out in this video essay. I guess in a way, it's sort of ironically beautiful, but it's no time for sentiment yet. We have an event to preserve. The Bull Days Journal, Day 2. Today was a fine day indeed. As any other, I spent the majority of today gathering materials and exploring a bit of the server. The plans for Imperium were still being formed, and as such, I was unable to do too much quite yet. I assisted with the others where I could, however. I met a few people who offered me some food and basic tools in exchange for helping them construct their base, and from what I've heard from the folks in Imperium, Phalanx had safely left the area. However, there was one major event this session, one the entire world found, and one nobody expected to happen this soon. The assassination of the major political leader known as Mudclip, creator of the nation Atlantis, leaving Phalanx with nowhere to go, and most of the Western world in utter shambles. The word is, the assassin, a man named Swordmaster Cat, was loosely associated with Hydra, and more or less slew the Emperor of the most powerful nation in the server on a complete whim, being his first major action on the server. Seeing as I don't like to spread rumors too much, however, I'll check in tomorrow and hope everything goes well. Maybe the influx of players from Atlantis will give us some more political power. Who knows? The Bull Days Journal, Day 3. Had my first real day on the server with importance. This day started off about as well as it possibly could have. Low on food, but now armed with coordinates for the Imperium base, I ran in their direction and did not stop until I couldn't run any more from hunger. Till finally, I arrived. A small farming village known by its residents as Sidrus, and one big dream from every member of the very eager group. After rebooting about 100 times to activate my voice chat mod, I was finally able to listen in to a very powerful speech about the day's plans given from our Grand Imperator known as Crafter. I approached a few people and was very quickly acquainted with some of the local residents. A few players by the names of Alexander, CM, Jordan, and Hololight quickly caught my attention and were very fast to introduce me to the land. Please keep their names in mind as they will become important later. I was quickly given some charity from the other members of Imperium, namely more food to keep me going, and they pointed me in the direction of the fabled Iron Node so I could get myself some iron tools and gear. After getting the all-clear from one person who was mining there, I suited up fast, got some more food from the farm, and within minutes I was already approached by a man named Baro Chen, who gave me my first task for the Imperium, getting redstone from a nearby node. I gathered up with a couple others and headed away to a nearby redstone deposit, where we used our pickaxes to mine the entire place clean. Just as we were getting back, however, tragedy struck. Our leader, Crafter, had been assassinated while going over the plans for the nation, surrounded by fellow Imperium citizens, by 2 other players, both who claimed to be members of Imperium. One of the assassins was killed on the scene, but the other, a player by the name of Lark, got away. This left Imperium in utter shambles. Cosmic, who had previously been the second-in-command to Crafter, was one of 2 Grand Praetors on the server, took up the mantle of the Grand Imperator, and almost immediately began giving out instructions on how to move forward as a nation. The first step, of course, was going to be bringing Lark to justice, but something was off about Cosmic's leadership style, however. Her cold and calculated demeanor and absolute dismissal of potential problems was in stark contrast to Crafter's more easygoing and charismatic leadership. Either way, it was clear that Imperium would now enter a state of grieving, and its once hopeful and optimistic attitude had now been shattered. We all knew what must be done, and it would involve blood being spilled in the name of Crafter's legacy. I wasn't in the mood for national defense, however, so I did the only thing I knew how to and fucked off and built a home. A man from a neighboring nation, who had heard about the tragic assassination of Crafter, approached me and claimed to be from a mysterious alliance known as the Northeastern Union, or NEU for short, comprising most nations of the East, including the Order of Phalanx, who we'd previously had trouble with. Either way, it seemed to me that they were on our side, and for that I had to join arms with them. The session ended with me collecting logs from my little jungle hut, but before it did, I heard word that apparently our neighbors had also had some trouble with one nation having an attempted assassination performed on their leader, and another, known as Pinguina, being pillaged completely. These acts were done almost in unison as the assassination of Crafter, as the members of the NEU had been at a meeting when everything had happened, leading all members of Imperium to believe something deeper was going on. To end the day, a stage was held discussing what to do now that Crafter was dead, and the motives behind the attack. Many fingers were pointed. Some of our own, present during the attack but not directly responsible, were accused for not having done more to protect the Imperator. Intel from another nation known as Rangai Dynasty, leaders of the NEU, and likely the most powerful nation of the East, suggested that the attack may have been coordinated by ex-members of Imperium, forming a new faction known as the Hidden Leaf, who left following the conflict on day 1 with Phalanx. But the devastating blow to our nation's security, in only 3 days my trust in the event began to weaken. I did not play on day 4. However, from what I heard, a funeral was held in Crafter's honor, and a memorial was erected on the border of Sergeris. During this time, Cosmic had personally investigated further into Crafter's mysterious death, and found 2 members of Imperium named Ninja and Happy guilty of treason against the nation, despite them not being directly responsible for the death of Crafter. Their trials were swift, and their punishment was referred to as being harsh. It was only on the next day, however, when Happy did not show up to the confessional that I would soon construct to get a better understanding of his perspective, that I realized what Imperium's leaders had done. Today was a specially allocated build day, where PvP was turned off. After the assassination of our leader, I was especially thankful to get a chance to relax and do what I love most, architecture. I ranked high in the order of architects within Imperium, and so I started by adding some finishing touches to my house from day 3. I then began to help with digging a massive moat for the surrounding area of the base, which had undergone some changes. For starters, the capital had been moved closer to the Iron Node, and while Sedaris was still to be kept as its own town, the new building plans would exclusively revolve around it. Our next task was to begin designing a wall to go around the base. I pitched a design I had cooked up in a nearby creative world, but unfortunately it was shot down in favor of a brand new art direction to take our entire nation. After we were done, I decided to begin on a more serious and personal building project. One I would treasure for the rest of the server's lifespan. You see, after following Crafter's death, I had taken to a life of faith started by our friends in the nearby church known as Harvestspire. I found myself a man with a devout fear of the one true God, Skipolo himself. As such, to show my gratitude to the Almighty, I began construction on my very own church. I found a cool design to base it off of online, and got to work constructing, using nearby stones and building materials, and going for an entirely grey color palette. This project would only be partially completed on the day, however, as I would soon be kicked off to end the session. Here's a quick time lapse of what I got done on that day. Day 6. For me, today was another day of building. The rest of Imperium began on construction of the base's walls meant to house the entire faction. One person by the name of Meta instructed me and 3 others to go and collect the diorite that would be used to build the wall, and seeing as I wasn't doing anything else at that moment besides constructing my church, I got to it. After mining for a good hour at least, and collecting over 12 stacks of diorite, I offloaded them onto the group's chests and got back to building my church. I mined a few more of those funny rocks sprinkled around the server and continued my work. While this was going on, however, just next to our Capitol building, a miniature war was being fought that resulted in nearly 30 people's deaths. At the time, I wasn't aware this battle was happening so close to where I was building, but apparently what had gone down was one of the nations at the center of the map, known as Polestar, had officially declared war on them by the nefarious terrorist organization known as Dutch Gang. Led by the evil Dutch Vanderland, they were a group consisting of the most skilled PvPers in the entire server. They would often shout southern obscenities at their foes, and were a major target of nations across the entire world, not just in the east. They had pillaged towns before, and laughed at the sanctity of human life. Polestar, being a fellow member of the NEU, which Imperium had now fully signed on to following the death of Crafter, meant that our nation's military had a responsibility to help assist in the war. Collectively, the groups rallied at Renkai to gather diamond armor, and a short but deadly war commenced. How it managed to happen just off of our borders, less than 100 blocks away from where I was building the church, I had no clue. In the end, however, Dutch Gang was repelled and Polestar had been safely defended. This battle would not be the last time we would hear from Dutch Gang, as they would surely appear later to cause us further troubles. However, it was a victory for now. The NEU had proven themselves to be a powerhouse that could be capable of rivaling the remaining powerful factions on the server, such as Sarkovia, Hydra, and whatever remnants of Atlantis that remained after the assassination of Mudclip. Though my life was quiet for now, I felt something was missing from it, as I would soon come to be more involved with the nation's events as a whole. For now, however, one thing was clear. The glory days of the server were over. The happiest and most peaceful parts of the event were behind us. But thankfully, for our purposes, not the parts that would come to be the most memorable. Day 7. An unfortunate start to this episode, but Day 7 was by far the most boring day of the entire event. It started like normal. I was farming wheat, and all of a sudden I was approached by a mysterious man from the west, from a nation known as the Island Zero Alliance. Do I have any string? No, actually, I've been looking for some myself.
Because I only found 2 to make this fishing rod. I need fishing rods.
I'm sorry, I wish I could. I'm looking for some myself. I need to go fishing.
Yeah.
We briefly discussed the potential for gathering diamonds together from Renkai, but before he left, he mentioned something very strange regarding an upcoming war between the nations of Hydra and the commies in Sarkovia. Poor as shit, we don't have anything.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. What's it called? This is like what, south? This is east. We're from the west. I'm from fucking the other jungle biome, all the way to the west.
Oh, for real? Wait,
Yeah,
what
man.
nation is that?
Island Zero, bro, all the way over there.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what goes on in the west. Is it all peaceful there right now, or is there,
Right
like,
now,
what's going on?
Like, they're all a bunch of pacifists, in my opinion, man. Like, now what's it called? Like, Renkai's going to war with Sarkovia, and now we're going to war with the Hydra Empire.
I didn't particularly care, however, so after receiving more chores to do from Max, Alex, and Jordan, with strict orders to do them all and stay within the borders of the NEU, I decided that this would be an opportune moment to do the exact opposite of that and travel. You see, I still very desperately needed diamonds, and I figured if I could negotiate a trade with Renkai, I could get a couple diamonds to make some armor. Eventually I found their leader, a guy named Defender, and was able to negotiate trading 2 stacks of gold for the diamonds to make my suit of armor. I'm wondering, what do you guys need?
Who do you represent?
I represent myself. I'm just a... Huh? I'm willing to pay whatever it takes to get some. I can bring you guys whatever you want. What do you need?
Stack of gold. Stack of gold.
Stack of gold? I can do that.
Okay.
Alright, I'll get that for you. When do you want it to be there by?
Smelt and plate.
Of course.
If it's available, if stock is available, you can buy it. That's about it.
Okay. I didn't have any gold though, obviously, and so my journey began. The rest of the session was mostly spent walking, and I eventually came upon the town of Checkerboard, where they kindly offered me full access to their gold deposit in exchange for me giving their leader some food. Unfortunately, the directions to get to the gold deposit were quite vague, so I ended up spending most of the remainder of the session just kind of wandering around aimlessly looking for it. Eventually I found it, but it was completely drained, and this guy was blocking anyone from extracting any resources from it. It also hadn't refilled itself in over an hour, which probably had something to do with it. Either way, he informed me that of all places, Sarkovia had a gold deposit that would be willing to give out to anyone who came by and showed their goodwill. So I reluctantly made my way over until I noticed something. All the Sarkovian military soldiers were positioned in the same hallway, and they seemed to be rallying over something like the upcoming war with Hydra. I instantly knew that this was probably a bad idea, but something told me to press further. Besides, I still really needed those diamonds. So I struck up a leader's deal with the leader of Sarkovia, OZR, who said he would give me the necessary materials under one condition, that I help them fight in the war against Hydra. Reluctantly I agreed, and so ended the session. Day 8. Oh boy. Okay, so what can be said about Day 8 that hasn't been said already? Let's see, I spoke with OZR, and he said that after further reflection, it would probably be best if I just left the area entirely. I wasn't exactly fiending to be killed, despite the fact that Sarkovia were our allies in the past, so I figured that it might be the best that I headed back to Imperium territory, at least for the time being. I was told by Mech, who had now assumed the role of leader, the mysterious absence of Cosmic from the server altogether, that it was best if we lay low for the time being and focus on securing our borders, instead of getting involved in any foreign conflicts. So, I took to mining for more diorite in the caves to help construct the wall. I mined another good 14 stacks of diorite to hopefully shut this project up once and for all, but then I received a notification on my Discord. A message from the NAU were informing me that Sarkovia had officially gone to war with Hydra.
Bruh.
And now the entire NAU would be rallying in support. Great. I thought deeply about what OZR had said. Would I really risk my neck for a nation I had never been a part of, all for a few diamonds? No, that would be stupid. Instead, I headed back to Sedaris, where I continued to build on my shitty jungle I'm kidding, of course. Of course I fucking went to Sarkovia to fight. I need some kind of plot significance, come on. I ran as fast as I could, crossing the checkerboard and Polestar railroads to get back to the place I had just come from. Soon enough, I found a huge swarm of Eastern soldiers charging into battle against Hydra, like they should. I ran with them, and we traveled far together, making our way west. We convened at the edge of an island, where I took the time to pick out any members of the NEU I might recognize from the crowd, of which there were several. We passed by some very cool structures, and I found myself in what I'm pretty sure was Hydra's capital, although no one really told me. But then I thought more deeply about the events at hand. We had been running for some time and still had no sign of Hydra. I figured our armies might have run past each other, and so I turned around to see if I could find my own way to the conflict. There I met a man from Renkai named Samurai Doggo, who offered to give me some diamonds, the very thing I came to get, in exchange for me showing him the way to the battle. I agreed since I was partially trying to find it myself, and so we headed off together, where we had last seen the army stay. We discussed the nature of things and why it seemed the Sarkovian military was having such struggles with simply finding their enemies, which seems to the average person like it would be a fairly simple task. Two of the largest nations on the server, living right next to each other, the entire area between the two could have worked as a battleground, and yet there was nothing. That's when I noticed something further. Death messages were appearing in the chat, despite me still not knowing where this battle was. Did I miss it? Had I gotten too far from the group to reconvene? Then I saw the Sarkovian military coming directly towards us. This was good for me because it meant that I got my 12 diamonds, but it left me with more questions than answers ultimately. I parted ways with Samurai Doggo, and then I realized something I hadn't before. Something so impossibly stupid, the word ragebait almost fails to capture its idiocy. The names of both the killers and the deceased had been part of the NEU in the same message. The armies in Sarkovia and Hydra were not fighting each other. They couldn't. Instead, they had taken to fighting themselves out of nothing more than sheer and utter boredom from being unable to properly coordinate their own war. This whole time, however, among the deaths, one stood out. Not as a random act of violence against idiots with a plan, but as a masterclass in taking advantage of a situation and revenge. Lark, the man responsible for assassinating our leader crafter, had been taken out by the Imperium military. Out of the whole event, this one moment had to stand out as one of the coolest. The military, led by Miku, but assisted by the others, used the chaos to catch the assassin off guard and trap him before killing him, a death well deserved. The only good thing about this god-awful but strangely poetic day was that I made my best friend on the whole server, a dog, which I named Schmarkovia, for no reason in particular. Me and him traveled throughout the whole chaotic shitstorm, and before long I found myself in some nation, was it White Harbor? I don't remember, consulting with other NEU members and Sarkovians about what to do in this endless sea of slop event content. Before heading back to Sarkovia to inevitably end the most pointless war in the history of Minecraft Civilization events, in the hours after the server closed, Skipolo opened a Discord stage. Never once in his 3 years of a Civilization event holding had he ever experienced something like this. The outcries of the rage-baited, screaming against the greatest rage-baiter of our time, a title now firmly held by none other than Skipolo himself, fell upon deaf ears, however. The pointless math death of the day had been overturned, and the following day, players who had been randomly killed as a result of pure and utter boredom would be revived, and the war would take place at a scheduled location, with admin abuse, rebuilt nations, at set coordinates. Day 8 would not be forgotten by anyone who played in this event, and it would surely come to be known as the day the semblance of a story the events once had completely died. Day 9. I low-key forgot Day 9 even happened, but surprise, surprise, I didn't play. But just know that before the official war on Day 10, there was a mid-week build session to help repair the land that had been salvaged by the chaos on Day 8. The only thing that did happen that's kind of relative to me was that my church had now officially been granted order from the Central Eastern Church of Harvestspire, meaning I could now legally give sermons. Yay! We can just skip the rest of Day 9 for now, however, and move on to Day 10. Day 10. With my interest in the Sarkovian conflict completely obliterated from Day 8, turning into a scripted event, I decided that maybe the best idea would just be to continue with the foreign affairs of the NEU. Not that there were many. I was bored, so I went over to Mac, Alex, and CM, who were on a fishing trip for some reason instead of assisting with the wall creation like they should have been. And Mac somehow shot my dog with an arrow, almost causing the stupid mutt to get himself killed.
Wait.
They were obviously as lost as I was, although apart from what I heard, discontent with the hidden leaf had been growing in Imperium, and apparently some crap with Renkai was also going on that called Polestar to be singled out by the people. Like I said, I really didn't pay attention. All of that drama is completely irrelevant, however, as today we had a more noble cause. Tonight, we held a celebration at Renkai for the NEU to participate in. There would be food, games, and most fun for me, gambling. Man, oh man, how I love gambling away everything I own. I met up with my only friends in the entire server, and everyone there had a blast of a time. Unfortunately for me, what I didn't realize, however, is that with all of their infinite wealth, clearly the East was being controlled by the aristocrats of Renkai alone, meaning that the outcome of my gambling was fulfilled before I had even decided what to bet. Clearly this guy running the gambling booth, Rolly Dice, as they're so aptly named, I think it must be French, is a swindler that loves stealing precious materials from poor little priests like me. Do not, under any circumstances, trust this penny-pinching thief with your hard-earned cash. I even had to sell my dog that I found on day 8 to fuel my noble career in gambling at this place. Although, I did manage to steal him back in a top-secret mission. All of which turned out to be a fruitless endeavor, because I didn't end up getting anything anyways. What I did get materially, however, was a good deal. I made a grand trade with some random builder at Renkai that if I brought him 12 stacks of deep slate, he would complete my suit of diamond armor and get me some tools. We lived near a mountain that was almost entirely constructed of deep slate, and as such, I went off to the mines to begin slaving in the caves, all for those sweet, sweet minerals. All while a war was being waged just out of earshot. Day 11. It was a new day, and I heard news in Imperium's Discord that Sarkovia had pulled through and successfully won the war. More relevantly, however, I heard from the new Imperator Cosmic that she would finally be making her public return to Imperium's land after a long hiatus. Up until this point, she had spent her time in diplomatic meetings, and in my absence from the East on days 7 and 8, I had yet to see the progress that they'd all been supposedly putting in. All that changed, however, as soon enough we two would get a chance to meet face-to-face for the first time. She came to me with a rather interesting proposal. You see, on day 8, our lead architect had actually been killed in the war, and I would have the chance to take his place as the new head of architecture. The person who the job went to would be decided by who had the best in-server builds, comparing myself to another. While I was feeling quite confident in my church carrying me to victory, I had no idea of who I would be going up against for this position, and to my knowledge a handful of great Imperium builds had already been constructed in our capital, leaving me with an even chance of winning or losing. All that was still important, however, as I had to finish my job from day 10 in collecting deep slate. To no one's surprise, I did it, and it was incredibly boring. Then I found Cosmic. As the only two members of Imperium currently online, we got to work right away, and I showed her my crappy jungle starter house. She had to go right away, but she said that before she left she would consider me for the position, and if she could find my church she'd check that out as well. To my good news, it seemed that today the first public NEU meeting would be held for those online, and Imperium would be its testing ground. Yay! I didn't want to waste my time before the meeting, so I hurried over to Renkai, accompanied only by my good friend Schmarkovia, to look for the guy who had made the trade deal with me. To my utter shock, they weren't there. I don't know why I keep bringing up these nothing burger occurrences in my video. I guess I'm just wasting your time. Anyways, that and accuracy, I guess, or something. Anyways, moving on. When I came back to Imperium, the amphitheater was being filled for not just a public meeting, but a public trial as well. The trial in question being that of Polestar. Remember on day 10 when that little group known as Hydra attacked Sarkovia and a few NEU members went along to join them? Of course you do, I just talked about it. Well, unfortunately, it seems that somehow Polestar had joined Hydra's side.
I just shot someone by accident. Sorry.
Yeah, it was me. It's fine.
Good.
Officer, kill Stockman.
I have nothing. Throw them Kartoffel. Throw them Kartoffel.
Polestar flag. Oh, I got a kill. Polestar's with them. Polestar's with them. God damn it, Polestar.
What Hydra could have possibly given Polestar, I have no idea. After all, I thought the relationship with the NEU wouldn't have been jeopardized so easily, especially after we helped them fight off that other terrorist group that were relevant for about 10 seconds, the Dutch gang. Naturally, when Cosmic took the stand to give her testimony on Polestar's unreliability, we all believed her. After all, the evidence was overwhelming in our favor. Polestar maintained that their intentions were not malicious in the slightest, and that their intent had always been to have fun in all respects. That part seemed to be questionable enough to me, but after all, I wasn't a judge. I was just here to stand guard so that we didn't get ambushed mid-meeting. On my personal front, after CM had asked me to watch guard by the door of the meeting for him, he also told me to keep an eye on this certain player known as Dark Gladiator. Notorious from the beginning of the event, when Crafter died for basically just rage-baiting people into the point of getting a death warrant from Imperium's leaders, This random at the ripe age of 12 was incessantly spamming our chat about what two consenting adults choose to do in their free time, and the people of this meeting clearly were not having it. To the dismay of both all forms of formality and everyone present at the meeting, he could not just can it for even a second, so it was obvious that the tensions were rising, albeit privately. The jury went away to make their final decision, and I noticed that one of the people in the crowd was actually none other than the guy that I made the trade offer with yesterday. I pulled him aside, and he gave me my diamonds in exchange for his deep slate, finally giving me my full set of diamond armor, completing one of my only 2 goals for this event. Polestar was found guilty of helping Hydra, of course, during the war, which, no shit. But while they were given mercy and the ability to leave peacefully, Dark Gladiator was not given that same gratuity. And before I knew it,
Why did you do that?
Hey! Bro, chill out. Let's peace. Peace. No, peace.
He killed him.
Peace, bro. Peace.
okay, I take back what I said. This guy can die.
Why did you give him
Whoa,
peace? Why did you give him peace?
whoa.
Oh,
You're asking for peace, and he slays him. Why are you asking for peace when he's the guy who?
Alex had swiftly executed him right beside the amphitheater, with no trial whatsoever. This, I knew, was a far cry from the early diplomatic days of Imperium. What did we come to? Executing random people for essentially just rage bait? Executing our own members over suspicions? I never claimed to be him, but I know Craster wouldn't have approved of this. Either way, I managed to get Dark Gladiator's head, and I gave it to his nearby friend who protested a senseless death. And anyway, my personal grievances aside, I had to stick with Imperium for the remaining time in this event, as I was now too far in to quit. The only thing I could do now was simply get back to work and whoa, holy shit, who just did that? Did you guys see that? Somebody just assassinated one of our members. That's crazy. A member of Polestar, no doubt. Upset over the banishing, I bet. Oh man, no, a monster named Nico Dem W, what a gay name. Frantically, Imperium went into a craze. The first goal was to protect our leader, Cosmic, from falling victim to, as she certainly would have had a target painted on her back by this evil bastard. We all gathered in Sedaris to look for the serial killer, but while we were there, he had snuck in and killed another member. 2 dead for no reason whatsoever. We all grouped up and decided that half of the remaining Imperium citizens would go to protect Cosmic, while the other half would stay in Sedaris and look for the criminal. I offered to stay behind, and we all spread out to look for this crazed lunatic. I figured the best method would simply be to try out different houses one by one. Oh! Jesteś nagrany z nawet się zjadł bez zrobić, no nie dawno zrobiłem już żadne. Ja złobna, ja.
Rise.
Born again, brought back from the afterlife by the grace of God. A final gift from my faith. I have one more chance to see this end right, and everything today will change. I notice that I've lost all of my things I spent so long to gather, and so I make my way back to Sedaris, the town where this all started. The first person I come across is a random named Watbat, who I lead to the heart of Imperium. The first citizen there to greet me is Meta, who gives me some diamonds that they accumulated. Gearing back up once again, I can tell that everyone is tense. Alex and Jordan seem to be conversing in the corner. Mech is crafting something. And then I see them. Cosmic, the leader for whom I died. For me, they put out a death warrant on the head of Nico, my murderer, so that any of us who see him will have full permission to kill him on sight. I move back to my church, where I see my dog, Schmarkovia, who I had made sit in the belief that I would never see him again. A great surprise for the both of us, I'm sure. Making my way forward, I meet a new faction, known as Top Rock. But I've done this dance too many times now, and I have no more room for it.
When you get a second and not doing anything, we oh boy, very interesting.
That's probably not good, right? I knew it. The hidden leaf, gunning for the head of Cosmic alone. It seems that this last day will go out in glory. The question is, of whose? I've already passed away in a war, however, and this time the element of surprise is in our hands. Checkerboard, Sarkovia, the entire NEU, even Phalanx, from the very beginning, will be rallying at our home to help us fight off the traitors and protect Cosmic. Luckily for us, also, it seems the Imperium military made a fallout shelter to shield them during the chaos.
We're gonna show where it is when you go now.
Yeah, Cosmic. Please follow. Just Cosmic, Alex, and CM, please.
I hold down the fort to welcome the NEU, while Cosmic is led away. Anybody for one final meeting in my church? This could be the last time we see each other. Yay, let's go. I rally everyone left for Imperium for one final meeting in my church before the battle. One final sermon. Come in. Come in. Okay. Thank you all for coming here today. I understand this is our last day we'll probably ever be together. I think it's been a great event overall. I'd like to say just a brief few words, if we could. As you all know, Hidden Leaf is coming, and they're probably going to try and kill us all. But in times like this, and we may begin to question our own faith as we are in this wonderful house. We begin to wonder, how could God possibly have a plan for this? But I'd like to say that it is all always a part of the plan. We will come through on the other side, and we will beat these traitors. One together. Ave Imperium!
Yes!
Alright, if anybody wants to leave an indulgence in the box over there, please, you don't be afraid to go ahead. Never too late to buy your way out of hell.
Yes, I have a feeling I'm gonna be stuck.
Thank you all, thank you all. Oh, John Hydra's dead, that's cool.
So, oh, this is your guys' banner. Wait, where are you from?
Yeah, how did that go fly?
Well, not Northelias. We're, Okay.
Hey, where's Cosmic?
I'm not sure.
She's off getting to like a secret tunnel and running away from us.
Hey, Origin. I need to find Cosmic, like ASAP.
Wait, I can lead you to her.
Wait,
Where?
does anyone need resources?
Yeah, she went that way, I think. She was with CM and Alex.
Okay, I'll go this way, I guess.
I don't think we need it right now. The actual fortification. So.
Oh, is it a small war? Or...
Whoa.
Holy
What?
shit.
Okay.
What?
Fine,
Mech was a... Oh my god. Cosmic is dead. There's no other way to put it. In the remaining moments before the battle, Mech had killed them with one final vengeful strike. Justice for Crafter's name. We can only assume the worst, that Alex, CM, Mech, and probably most of Imperium were in on this scheme, leaving no one left to lead us. No one. Except for me.
That guy kill him. Gladiator.
Everybody stay together, stay together.
What happened? Stay together. Okay, hold on. What
Yeah.
happened? What just happened? Where did he?
Mech just betrayed us. Cosmic is dead.
Where even were they? Why aren't they here?
Did the 15 minutes pass? Did the 15 minutes
I
pass
think that
according
was
to the
different
section?
because that's an internal assassination. That's not a war thing.
Oh.
Oh shit.
All right. So are these?
Wait, do you guys think that Mech was with Leaf? Or do you think he was just acting of his own accord?
It's been recorded in Discord.
So both Mac and C and Alexander are traitor. Yeah,
Oh my god.
There's a message on it. I told Alexander yesterday. CM is explaining it.
I was best friends with those guys, what the hell? Well, since everybody else is gone, you guys want to elect a new Imperator right now? Alright, everyone voting for me, say aye. Aye! Alright, I win. Alright, I guess I'm the new Imperator.
What's going on?
Huh? I just got elected with a unanimous vote as the new Imperator. Let's go.
I see.
Yeah.
Where's Mac?
Unanimous vote of 1. By a unanimous vote, I was elected the new Imperator, and now only I could lead this nation through the haze. Then, there they were. The hordes of soldiers from the NEU coming to fight us, and in a standoff with Imperium. Hopefully my presence would ease the tension. Wait. We were just betrayed by Mech, Alexander, and CM. They're not part of the NEU. They were, I think...
Mech, Alexander, and CM. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the new Imperator, by the way. Huh?
Okay.
Hi. What's good? I was just elected new Imperator. Alright, everybody, if you see them, they're part of Leaf. I tried to explain the situation the best I could, when all of a sudden, someone came riding back into town. Alex! Alex, I can't believe this! Alex, I was your... Though I never personally saw the screenshots, I believed Mech when he told us that Cosmic had sold us out to Hydra. Even still, at the end of conflict, war needs to happen. So, we collaborate. Look at our common enemies and decipher only one thing. That war cannot happen between fellow brothers of the East. Only with someone we share real history with. The Leaf was a side note in the grand story. However, our greatest enemy, Polestar, was not. A full war on Polestar, for honor, content, and everything Imperium stands for. We ran into battle, not as a nation of dictators, but a nation led by a corpse. Just letting you know, when this is all over, we will have to give you a fair trial. The gates of Polestar, beautiful as ever, their evil masked with a statue of an angel. It would soon be my turn to speak one-on-one with their leader about the upcoming and the past. It is only fair that we give a proper warning to our enemies. There is no honor in hunting rabbits.
Come over here.
Wait, look, I'm one guy.
That's amazing.
Hello.
What do you need?
Huh? I was just here to inform you, Imperator Cosmic is dead. I am officially the new Imperator. We are a new nation, different from Imperium. Do not mistake us for our ancestors. Anyways, I think a big group of people are on their way here now, but I don't know why. Something's going on. Anyways, the storms are brewing is all I'm saying.
I have something to add to that. I was over at Imperium earlier. There were a lot of nations there.
Yeah, I think they teamed up with Leaf. I don't know. I'm supposed to be leading them, but I'm not very good at it.
Well, as of today, Hidden Leaf has nothing to do with us.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they've teamed up. I don't know. I'm gonna go. If you see a big group of NEU members, let me know, because I'm supposed to be the new Imperator.
There's a bunch
Yeah.
of NEU people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have nothing against the enemy. Even though we got kicked out, we have
No, I get that. Yeah,
nothing
that
against the enemy.
I have nothing against you either. All right, that's just I'd like to make that very clear. That was, if anything, any transgressions the Cosmic had against you guys, I do not maintain, as I am the new Imperator.
I told Cosmic that we have nothing against people coming over there.
Nothing against you. Yeah, I don't know. There were some guys. I think we were going to originally do like a duel between Hidden Leaf and Imperium to decide everything. Okay. Then they said, let's come over here and maybe negotiate having a war. I don't know. It's the last day, so a bunch of weird stuff's gonna happen. But
we have nothing to do with Hidden Leaf.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well, the rage bait persists even in the last day.
It sure does.
Yeah, I'll see you around. It was only a matter of time before we rallied together at Renkai for one last meeting.
I'm going to Renkai. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, do we rally here or rally at Renkai? Or maybe we treat... Hello. Ooh.
The war!
Okay.
What are you doing, man? We have a war to get to. Come on.
Bye.
Follow the Imperator.
But it's gonna be written in the history books, real.
Yeah. When everyone thinks back on Imperium, who are they going to think was the Imperator the whole time? They're going to only think of me. Totally.
We need to build a massive statue of you.
Yes, for real. Make sure you get my hang on. Make sure you get my crown in it. Really show. Yeah, make sure I really show. For a king must always wear his crown, as they say. And yeah, whenever they think back on Imperium, they're gonna go, oh yeah, that's that one nation led by the Bull Ray. Yeah, he did a really good job of running it.
Julius Caesar.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, this is actually really...
Oh, damn, this is awesome. Oh, wait, here, I'll find it. Okay.
So many defenses, but none of them are attacked. Like, you heard...
No! Oh. Well. Thank God I had diamond armor. We almost lost another Imperator in the same day. What do you know? Yeah. Yeah. Do we just like wait around here or what? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, this is the coordinates they said, right?
Maybe we should go to actual Renkai because there's probably already people waiting.
I'm stupid. It's negative 650. Negative 240. Alright, let's go. Brothers in arms, knights of the most powerful faction to grace this earth, chosen by God. The NEU faced our brothers one last time as I tried to get my nation under control.
Can I get a banner? I ran out of
Alright, fine.
How the fuck do I add this
you know what, I mean, since he's also kind of putting some work, you know what, Mac, I guess you can be like second in command or something, but I mean, come on, we all know who's really the best.
I can get some more, but that might take like 10 minutes. Hold up, anyone who doesn't have the Imperium banner, just take a red banner. We'll just say that's like a provisional one.
Can I get a red banner?
Grab your banner. If you're a part of Imperium, grab your banner.
If you don't have a banner, just grab a red one. Yeah.
Wait, can I use...
Oh my god, Jordan. Is there an analytic?
Hey, who's forgetting about me? What about me?
It will be run by the Senate.
Okay, yeah,
Yes, we need classical republic. We need consuls.
That's actually true. Can I apply for a paid position? Unfortunately for me, there were a few people, for whatever reason, questioned my role as the new Imperator, despite me winning it fair and square. We sent our declaration, and that was that. Mech, Alex, Jordan, Hololight, Solomon, Miku, Medicats, Boomer, Veb, CM, Undead Troll Nerd, Meta, Better Moose, Onder, and countless others that I don't have time to write about gathered at Renkai, our second home away from the safety of Imperium's walls. Soldiers, together at last, we said our final goodbyes.
Mac, get over there. We need to look at the war plans. It's back here? It's back here? I think Mac's already over there.
You guys all have the rally point that I put in the NU chat. If not, it is 1814, negative 563.
Oh, come on.
That will be the point
where's that?
we meet. It's 1814, negative 563. That's the point that we'll be meeting. It's on the northeast corner of Polestar. When we get the go-ahead, all going in there as a squad. Renkai and NHE are going from separate points. We're basically going to squish Polestar.
Wait, we just got the reports from Blackout. Do we want to send a strike force out as well?
No. He's unfortunately not his turn at this point. Again, the coordinates are 1814.
You guys heard the second in command, let's all go. Come on.
In the case that I die, you follow Miku or Alexander. One of the two. It has been an honor playing with all of you guys. I hope it's glorious fight. Glory to Imperium.
Yeah, you know. You did a good job at second in command, I'll say that, Mac. You served us well. Alright, come on, guys.
To everyone in chat, I actually have 2 more banners I placed at the city gates.
I need you to do a really quick reading. I need you to let me know if I'm gonna die or not.
There's extremity.
Hello, Miss.
I did not have my cards ready just now. I just got them. Give me a second. Alright. I pulled him up. Alright.
Yes. I'm ready to mobilize.
Let's see your future gamer Mac.
But Tarek, what are you doing?
It's gonna be a fair fight, but if you believe it, you can do it. Believe in yourself.
Hey, wait, I have a question. Excuse me.
Okay.
After Mech dies, because he inevitably will, who should I make my second in command?
With me.
Dude, I don't fucking know. That's not how town works.
Damn it. Pull like the Alexander. What would follow was nothing short of a blaze of glory.
Mac, we're gonna plant that flag at any cost. Yep.
Who has the flag?
I have the flag. I'm still far away. I'm at 2141, negative 300.
We're heading into the center of Polestar.
From your sleep,
So you're heading south? Wait,
Here are my goals. Hello.
your tears today. We escape. Pack and get dressed before your father hears us. Before
Right here.
all hell breaks loose. choke, let you choke.
Okay, Mech is dead. Mech has already said he's dead.
Who's leading us? We could all go to Sokovia.
Miko.
I'm leading us.
Just follow
Yeah,
me.
me.
Dust settled, but not for long. My friends were still alive, and I was too. Imperium went into the hellfire of Polestar's corrupt land and emerged as a true angel, not the false one that they built idols to. I saw every friendly face that had welcomed me during this time, the stoic soldiers of Imperium, Oziar leading his powerful nation to rally behind us, Samurai Dago, the charitable fellow who I had once partnered with, the men of Checkerboard and Renkai, of whom I had engaged in trade with. I even met Batman, that was cool. But the disease of their existence still stained the world, even when it had been cured for everyone else. The leaders ran far away into Hydra territory, where they hoped that the deceased terrorist group would shield them from righteousness, while everyone else in the NEU gathered in Polestar to celebrate and to pay their final respects to the event that had treated them so well. My nation was not so quick to join. We pursued Polestar in what felt like a never-ending chase, just to see their last members be ended by our own hands. We hunted them through desert and water, tracking their party until we found them just outside of Checkerboard. They bolted when they saw their own demise stare them in the face, but we were not so quick to leave either. However, in the brief moments where Polestar had run before we could group up and chase them, they had already made enough ground. We chased them far into the north, to the land of North Helios, far past Pantha, to the tops of the Alpines. We found but one measly straggler who we picked off quickly. But as we continued to give chase, we had lost them, truly. A fitting end to the last war on the server, where so many had gone exactly like it, entirely anticlimactic. We chased until we realized that our last moments would be better spent with our comrades, and thus we marched back to Polestar's charred remains. Somewhere in the chaos, our enemies found peace. Not in the kingdom that they had constructed carefully, but in a small hole where they laid their dead to rest. When we finally got back to Polestar, after the fruitless chase, the city was being brutalized by the NEU. I paid my fair respects to it, and we gathered together for one final party, where we all stood united at last, as rain began to fall, slowly growing more intense.
Just get on the stage.
Alright.
Oh god, it's her.
Oh, nice.
Tiff, stand still, goddammit! We just Oh yes. Hey, we just encountered a potential Hydrant/Polestar spy. We need to get ready. Get ready. Guys, they might be coming soon. They might be arriving soon. Everyone get to secure position. Get to secure positions.
Oh, hi! Oh, you're alive! You're alive!
When we received a call from Skipolo that the server would be closing soon for the final time, I grouped up with my fellow comrades, and we headed back to the amphitheater where it had all begun. We laughed, took screenshots, and decided what would become of Imperium now that all the chaos had settled. The only 10 remaining Imperium citizens decided that having a single ruler was not the way to exist if we wanted to be the nation of peace we had set out to become. As much as the temptation of continuing to be Imperium's leader was present, I knew it wasn't what we needed. As everyone said their final goodbyes, the rain flowed faster, drowning out the entire world until there was nothing left. Only Ragebait.
As well as Jordan and the Old Guard.
Wait, is Jordan back in Imperium?
I'm right here.
Yeah, he's no, I know, but like, are you again part of it?
I would also like to apply.
I would be happy to be a part of Imperium again.
Let's see how many candidates we want for a consul. Should we do like 5? How many consuls will there be? 2?
Everyone that wants to be a consul should just get up on the stage.
Okay.
How many consoles are there? 2?
Oh, shit.
Six.
The water is.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There's no way.
Whatever that means.
Okay, ignore that. Ignore that. It's fake news. It's fake news.
The water is not flooding.
Let's just have a vote now.
Oh, everyone can speak in the chat now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, let's Well,
Let's
there's
just
like
vote. Who's the console?
There's 5 people like who want to be it up here.
So
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, according to the old government, I'm the highest ranking. Everyone else is dead. So glory to
Hey, I'm also an OG, you know.
No, I
Miku's
was
the
an OG
highest.
senator. I was an OG senator before you guys.
Well, we all got kicked, right?
Wait, hold up. You said you may now reconnect. Wait, I reconnected, I think.
Everyone join back. Everyone join back. You can.
Wait. Was the last line just rage bait? I knew it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Alright, let's just have our election. I don't know. Whatever. Should we just, like, all nominate ourselves?
Yeah. Why not just make it all of us?
Oh, yeah.
For simplicity.
You know what? Everyone's a console. It's
Let's
a
go.
commune. Everyone's a console. Whatever.
5 consoles.
I was an OG. I was here.
In the days after the flood, the rest of Imperium was rebuilt, now ready to move on as a nation without conflict. The day right afterwards, a great party was held, where God himself revived all the members of the event for just one day. John Minecraft, the man responsible for coding everything for this event, held an awards ceremony where we reminisced about the highlights of and sorrows that we had endured these past few weeks. Though I would eventually move on from Imperium to bigger and better things, the memories I made here would not be forgotten. Luckily, I was able to say my goodbyes. With permadeath now briefly turned off, everyone met to begin fighting and airing out all their grievances, as they would naturally. I, however, moved on my own. I saw all the nations I never had a chance to visit, not just from the east, but the entire map. My journey took me all the way to Soup Bowl, the nation farthest to the west, and then back again to my home in the east. Some kind members of Renkai gave me more free diamonds for my contributions to the NEU, and I bid farewell to the few people that had made this event special. To say my last goodbye, I went back to my church, the place where it all started, where I regrouped with Shmarkovia, my dog. Armed with my knowledge of the world, I spoke and presented my final prayers in the empty house of God, a sermon to no one. Thank you for watching.
Looking for a hot new thing, trying to get your daily exercising. Keep the low and on you, just makes me wanna dance with you. Just a looking down deep below, the lava's bubbling and we're ready to go. Lava swimming, oh lava swimming, if you don't watch out you'll die in the heat. Lava swimming, oh lava swimming, if you fall in you're